All right, so today we're diving deep into Francotech, this global hub where innovation meets the French language.
Yeah.
You might be familiar with the Sommet de la Francophonie.
Right.
Francotech is actually running right alongside this huge event.
It is, yeah.
We're talking about over 1,500 participants
Wow.
from over 100 countries.
That's amazing.
And get this,
Yeah.
150 exhibitors showing off the latest and greatest in tech.
It's not just a showcase either.
Oh, really?
The Grand Prix L'Innovation Francotech 2024 competition is a huge part of it,
I've heard about that.
with 100 entrepreneurs all going head-to-head for the top spot.
Wow.
And with Business France and the Alliance des Patronats Francophones as major supporters,
Yeah.
that really shows you the potential impact of Francotech.
Absolutely. This isn't just about,
Right.
cool gadgets, though.
Definitely not.
We're going to really uncover how Francotech is creating these global collaborations and driving economic growth, and most importantly, tackling some of the biggest challenges that we're facing today in the world.
Now, when we say Francophonie,
Right.
it's so much more than just people speaking French.
It is, yeah.
It's this massive network of cultures and economies across 5 continents,
And that's huge.
a significant portion of the global population, and Francotech is tapping into that potential.
That's really incredible.
Yeah.
Now, Francotech has its sights set on some pretty key areas.
They do.
Artificial intelligence, of course, digital security,
Right.
food security,
Big one.
transportation and logistics,
Huge.
education, and even innovative financing models.
They're really hitting all the important sectors.
They are.
And it's not just theory. They're laser focused on developing practical solutions
That's right.
to real-world problems.
So give me an example.
Well, take, for instance, a company using AI to analyze satellite imagery.
Okay.
They're helping farmers figure out the best way to irrigate their crops
Oh, wow.
and to boost their yields.
That's fascinating.
It's a perfect example of how Francotech is making innovation tangible.
I love the AI and satellite imagery combination.
It's pretty remarkable.
So how does it actually work?
Well, the AI is trained to identify those subtle variations in the crops and soil that we often can't see with the naked eye.
Right.
It can even detect signs of stress nutrient deficiencies
Okay.
and even early signs of disease.
Oh.
This information is then used to create specific recommendations for each farmer.
Oh, that's interesting.
For example, the AI might suggest adjusting irrigation schedules.
So they're not wasting water.
Exactly.
Right.
Or applying certain types of fertilizers.
Wow.
Or even changing planting patterns to optimize crop health and yield.
So it's like giving farmers a personalized roadmap to success.
Exactly. And the benefits go even further.
Okay, how so?
This kind of precision agriculture significantly reduces water waste,
Right.
minimizes the use of pesticides and fertilizers,
Right.
and ultimately contributes to more sustainable farming practices.
That's incredible. And it makes you realize that the impact of Francotech goes way beyond just the Francophonie itself.
Absolutely. A lot of these issues that Francotech innovators are working on are global challenges.
They are.
Things like climate change, food security, the future of work.
Right, so even if someone's listening and they don't speak French, these innovations coming out of Francotech could still directly impact their lives.
Absolutely. It underscores this idea that innovation can go beyond borders
Yeah.
and create a ripple effect of positive change worldwide.
It's a global effort.
It is what's developed within the Francophonie can benefit everyone regardless of language.
I think what's also really exciting is that Francotech is putting this spotlight on the role of inclusivity
Yes.
and diversity and innovation.
It's crucial.
They're encouraging participation from every corner of the Francophonie,
Right.
recognizing that a wide range of voices and perspectives is really essential for driving meaningful change.
That's a crucial point, and it ties into this idea of language as a bridge.
I like that.
Francotech is showcasing how language can be this powerful tool to connect people, ideas, and solutions on a global scale.
It is, yeah.
It reminds us that language isn't just about communication. It's about building connections and fostering collaborations.
It brings us to a really interesting question.
What's that?
Could initiatives like Francotech actually change how we see the role of language in the 21st century?
It's certainly a thought-provoking question.
It is. What if language became less of a barrier
Right.
and more of a catalyst for collaboration and problem solving on a global level?
It's definitely something to think about.
It is. Now, let's dive into some more concrete examples
Right.
of these innovations coming out of Francotech.
Okay.
One that I found really intriguing is,
Yeah. I'm curious. One of the things that I find so compelling about Francotech
uh,
is this focus on not just creating, cool technology,
yeah,
but on developing these new ways to finance and support it.
yeah, I was really intrigued by that.
Yeah.
It's not just about the inventions themselves.
Right.
It's about building that ecosystem
Yeah.
where these innovations can actually flourish.
Right, precisely. They're looking at all sorts of options, from crowdfunding platforms to impact investing initiatives.
Okay.
The goal is to make a more inclusive and accessible financial ecosystem for startups and entrepreneurs across the Francophonie.
This is so fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Could you give me like a specific example
Sure.
of one of these innovative financing models?
Absolutely. One model that's getting a lot of attention is microequity crowdfunding.
Okay, I've heard of that.
It allows people to invest small amounts in promising startups
Hmm.
in exchange for a tiny little share of the company.
So it's almost like democratizing access to investment.
Exactly. And it also fosters this sense of community ownership
Yeah.
in these startups, which is really valuable in those early stages.
Right. So they're not just creating the cool gadgets, they're building the infrastructure
Yes.
to support these innovations
Exactly.
and help them actually grow and flourish.
It's a great way to put it. They're cultivating a whole ecosystem for innovation
I like
from the
that.
ground up.
Mm-hmm.
And by connecting all these innovators and entrepreneurs and investors
Right.
from across the Francophonie,
Yeah.
Francotech is creating this powerful network
Yeah.
with huge potential to drive some serious economic growth.
It's almost like creating a new kind of global marketplace,
It is.
one that's built on collaboration and a shared passion for innovation.
And this is where the connection to that Summit de la Francophonie is even more important.
Oh,
Aligning themselves with this major summit gives Francotech this global platform
right.
to showcase the power and potential of the French language
Mhm.
and the Francophonie as a whole.
They're really saying, hey, the Francophonie is a force to be reckoned with.
Exactly. And that message goes way beyond just the French-speaking world.
It does, yeah.
Like we've talked about, a lot of the challenges Francotech is addressing,
Right.
those are global. So even if you don't speak French, Francotech is still relevant.
It is, yeah.
The innovations coming out of this network could impact everyone,
Right.
no matter what language they speak or where they are.
That's a great point. It's a reminder that we're all in this together.
We are.
That collaboration is really the key
Yeah.
to solving these big challenges that our world is facing.
And Francotech highlights how language can be a tool to foster that.
Absolutely.
Right.
Not just a way to communicate, but a way to connect.
Absolutely. It's like they're saying, let's use language to build bridges, not walls.
For those listening who are totally fascinated by all this,
Yeah.
what would you say is the most important thing for them to pay attention to going forward?
That's a great question.
What's the key takeaway here? Okay, so we've talked about the innovations, the collaborations, the financing models.
Right.
What's the big picture here?
I think the big takeaway is that Francotech is more than just, an event
Right?
or a competition. It's really a movement.
I
It's
love-
about the future, where the Francophonie is a driving force for innovation.
Yeah.
And, positive change on a global scale.
It sounds like they're not just talking the talk. They're
Yeah.
actually putting things in motion to make it happen.
Exactly. And they're doing it in a way that's really inclusive
Yeah.
and collaborative, bringing together people from everywhere
Mhm.
and all walks of life.
Now, we talked about how Francotech is tackling these big global issues.
Right.
But what about the impact on the Francophonie itself?
Well, it's creating all these economic opportunities.
Yeah.
It's fostering entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
and it's boosting the international profile of French-speaking businesses and
Yeah.
innovators.
Yeah.
It's showing the world that the Francophonie is a place where creativity and ingenuity thrive.
So it sounds like Francotech is not just a platform for showing off innovation.
Right.
It's a way to strengthen those bonds within the Francophonie
Exactly.
and amplify its voice on the world stage.
Right. Absolutely. And that's why it's so important for people to keep an eye on Francotech.
It is.
It's a force for positive change that can really shape the world.
For anyone listening who's really interested in learning more about this, where should they go?
The Francotech website is a great place to start.
Okay.
It has everything you need. Information on the Grand Prix competition profiles of all the entrepreneurs involved,
Wow.
and details about all the different
It
initiatives.
sounds amazing.
It really is inspiring to see
Yeah.
the range of projects and the passion behind them.
Well, we've covered a lot today,
We have.
but I think what really stands out to me is this idea of language as a bridge.
It's powerful.
It's not about speaking French.
Right.
It's about using language to connect and collaborate and create something bigger than ourselves.
And as you learn more about Francotech, I want you to consider this.
Okay,
Could this be a model for other language communities?
that's a great question.
Could we see Hispanic tech or Swahili tech?
It's definitely something to think about.
It is.
And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Francotech.
Great discussion.
We hope you enjoyed it and learned a lot about the power of language to inspire, connect, and drive innovation.
I did.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing those boundaries of what's possible.